I'm a pretty big Sonic the Hedgehog fan. I've been playing the game since I was like 6 years old, I've seen every movie in theaters, and I've got an extensive library of all of the games. I'm not some massive super fan, but I'm pretty big into the franchise. I've got opinions, I've got thoughts, and I've got ideas. And I've got a tremendous amount of love and adoration for this character. I've also got a lot of tremendous love and adoration for film and television, and lucky for me, Sonic's been included in the Movie Hall of Fame with 3 video game movies since 2020. But how good are all of them? Do they slap, or are they crap? It's crap. Okay, it's not crap, but Sonic the Hedgehog's first movie is sorta undercooked. I mean, any movie that was planning to debut with that horrible Sonic design is automatically going to be seen negatively by a lot of people.
Meow?
But all in all, this movie really feels closer to a children's adventure movie with a CGI pet than a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. And I guess that makes sense because that's what it is and what it was always intended to be. There are genuine glimmers of promise here though. For one, I do really like Tom and Sonic's dynamic. I think the two of them are fun to watch, and I like seeing their relationship form and turn into something a lot more serious and connected. They also have a decent amount of funny jokes together, including a few ones that I describe as out of pocket.
How much longer? I can't breathe in here.
Do you have your child in that bag?
No. I mean, yes, it's a child, but it's not mine.
Unfortunately, jokes are where this movie really suffers because some of these suck. There's a ton of jokes about Olive Garden and guac, and so many guac jokes I really don't get it, not to mention Fitbit or Amazon or Find My Phone. The comedy in this movie is absolutely abhorrent, and unfortunately it's not even saved by Jim Carrey's Eggman. Don't get me wrong, he's a great part of the movie and he's really funny, but it just doesn't do enough of a job to repair a movie that's so seriously drowning in unfunny sauce. There's also a complete lack of respect for the source material for the bulk of the movie. Despite being set in a town called Green Hills, it doesn't really feel like it, and the movie is more interested in using any other song except from the games it's based on. You could really pop a film like this or Peter Rabbit in and get no real difference from the way that it approaches its plot. Thankfully, I do enjoy the third act. Sonic and Robotnik's fight is fun, I love seeing it zip and zoop across the world, and the climax in the street makes a lot of narrative sense for the film. But again, it's not really enough to save a movie that was a pretty big disappointment, and I thought spelled the end of this franchise before it even fully began. You know the final battle between Eggman and Sonic in the first movie where they keep going around the world in really dope chase that sums up the movie with the question, why didn't this happen sooner? Watching this film really gave me the ability to understand the utter joy someone can get from an adaptation that takes something you love and creates something so close to perfection that you just have to look in awe at it. This is why so many Spider-Man fans feel annoyed at the Marvel movies that came out, and this is why so many Batman fans lost their shit over The Batman. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 made me understand how it feels to be a fan of a property and see it given the love and respect it absolutely deserves. This is, for all intents and purposes, a superhero movie, and it's the best direction to take this franchise in, especially after the stupid Peter Rabbit-esque first movie that I want to move on from as fast as possible. I'll get the dumb negatives out of the way first. This is still clearly a dumb movie made for dumb children. There are dumb moments of Eggman flossing, dumb moments of Sonic and Tails getting into a dance battle in Russia, and a lot of fart humor. There's also an annoyingly long segment around the middle of the movie that basically focuses entirely on the human characters. It contains some funny bits. I actually like James Marsden's character a lot in this one, but it really slammed the movie on the brakes. And there's also this character who thankfully only has like 2 scenes, but he's the most unfunny dude in the entire movie. Unfortunately, I'm going to talk more about him a little bit later. The film really leaned into the iconography and Easter eggs of the games, and I absolutely adored it. The Master Emerald lore was so damn cool to see, and the temple where the emerald was led to a fantastic set piece, which led to the amazing climax of the entire movie. I have trouble talking about how much I adore seeing Knuckles, Sonic, and Tails team up against Eggman in a movie. I actually started crying when I first watched this in the theaters, and I'm not lying. Idris Elba as Knuckles is perhaps the best casting decision of all time, and Knuckles adds so much to the film. I also love getting the voice actors for Tails from the games to put into the movies. I thought that was fantastic. I love how everything works together with these characters. They feel so fully realized in just a single movie. And then I love Supersonic, right? Like, I didn't think they were going to do that when I first watched the movie, but seeing it in theaters was so cool, and I love how quickly they just threw everything at you and made it work without it feeling like they were just again, throwing things at you. Just an overall great film, one of my favorite movies in the blockbuster genre, and a great Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I thought this was a fucking Knuckles show, but no, I was lied to. This is a Wade show. This is not a Knuckles show. I don't even think you can legally call it cut the fucking green screen. I don't think you can even call this a Knuckles show. Paramount, my lawyers will be in touch, you goblins, all right? You don't know how to behave. I'm gonna be the new owner of Sonic the Hedgehog. I opened the video talking about how I'm a huge Sonic fan, and like everyone else on the entire planet, Sonic Adventure 2 was my shit. I had a copy of it on my older sister's GameCube. I spent hours playing the main stories, the multiplayer campaign. I even would spend hours in the Chow Garden vibing. This was the game I'd pull out when all my friends came over. Fuck some other games, we're playing Radical Highway, and I'm Shadow, damn it. Going into Sonic 3, I was fairly confident that it'd be good. Again, I really liked the last movie. It had Shadow the fucking Hedgehog in it. Then the trailers dropped and I was a little unimpressed. Keanu Reeves wasn't selling me on Shadow, the comedy seemed a little forced, and it just felt like they might be misstepping compared to Sonic 2. Thankfully, I was fucking wrong. This shit ruled. See, both of the first two movies never felt like they were adapting any game in specific. Sure, there was a little bit of iconography from Sonic 1 in the first movie, not much. And Sonic 2 has a ton of iconography from Sonic 2 and 3, but it never felt like they were taking the plot of one of those games and straight up adapting it. Maybe that's because those games don't have much of a story to tell, but still, they were pretty loose and fast. This movie though, this is just a straight up adaptation of Sonic Adventure 2. Sure, some things get lost in the mix and other things don't get the full story emphasis that they once did, and we're missing a few characters, but they essentially grabbed all of the iconography that they needed from Sonic Adventure 2 and created a story that naturally pulls all it needs from the game to craft an amazing movie. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is a real movie. It's got character arts, it's got damn good dramatic writing, it's got really solid editing and camera work, the action is fantastic. I was genuinely surprised when watching this, because as much as I like Sonic 2, again, it still feels like a kid's movie. This movie actually felt like there was weight to it. There was things that the movie did that made actual narrative sense and felt like they were trying to tell a story about Shadow the Hedgehog and the trauma that he faced. His arc is so well done. It hits all the beats you expect it to, but the dialogue and the way they go about it is genuinely touching and way deeper than I ever expected this movie to go. It feels like we've left kids movie territory and we're just settling for a genuinely great blockbuster. Now, of course, there's issues. There's issues in all of these movies. The comedy is a step back from Sonic 2 in a couple of ways. Some characters just aren't as funny, and some lines made me actually cringe. There's one specific moment with Wade Whipple that made me almost dock an entire star from the movie. At the end of the day, though, I really don't care. This is one of my new favorite movies, and it's really hard to see how they'll top it going forward, but I'm pretty sure they will. Anyway, later, guys. I'll see you during Sonic 4.